I think we were here November 2022, so not quite 2 years, but it's absolutely amazing how much this part of the city has changed. I remember when we were here last time, there was just so much construction going on down here along the Malecón, along the main drag in La Paz by the waterfronts, and now it's complete, and honestly, it's looks incredible. I included La Paz on my roundup, on my very popular roundup of best places to live in Mexico that I did back in 2022, I think. I was just there again a couple of weeks ago in May 2024, and it was really, really interesting to see the different ways in which the city had changed. And I'm really excited to talk to you, really interested to hear your thoughts about La Paz today. But would you please just start out by introducing yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Claudia. Greetings from La Paz, Baja California Sur. I moved to La Paz from Guadalajara 4 years ago, and it has been amazing. It has been a change of life. People in La Paz are really welcoming, very friendly. So it was very easy to me to be introduced to the La Paz life. And even for foreigners, there's a very big community of expats and very well organized with lunches, activities. They play paddle. There are many groups. There are many Facebook groups, even under 50. If you're under 50, if you are Jewish or you're Catholic, there's always many activities and cultural activities also involved with all the community. And if you love outside activities, this is just an amazing place to live because you have many choices. We have a wonderful Sea of Cortez where you can swim, scuba diving, snorkeling, paddle, kayak, rowing, hiking, and also it's very safe, you know, and you can feel that you are safe. I always go even by night out, go dining or dancing or anything. I really feel safe all the time.
The weather here in La Paz has really, really surprised me. We are here this weekend for a wedding, and to be honest, when I got the invitation, I was like, OMG, May in Baja California Sur, it's gonna be way too hot. We're gonna absolutely melt. But I am so pleased, so pleasantly surprised by the weather here. It's been absolutely amazing. A nice little breeze, cool in the evenings. If you are wanting to go to the beach in Mexico in May, check out La Paz, because I have been to Puerto Vallarta in May and I would not do it again. It is just way too hot for me there that time of year, way too humid. But here in the desert, it's just so much more comfortable, and the town is a lot less crowded. Yes, La Paz in May. Claudia acknowledged that summers in La Paz aren't for everyone. She shared the story of a client who moved to La Paz in June and only ended up staying 2 weeks because he couldn't stand the heat. August and September are the hottest months of the year, with an average high of 97 degrees Fahrenheit and an average low of 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, this looks so good. Taylor got the tortilla española. There's like some spinach in there, tomatoes, little salad on the side. And I got the quiche, which I think has, squash in it. Eggs, obviously, quiche. Quiche. How do people get around? I mean, where are the neighborhoods? Where are the parts of the city that your clients are living? And do they have a car? Are they able to walk? Do they use public transportation? What's
Okay.
life in La Paz like?
Retirement people, they prefer to be in zona centro near the malecón, okay, where maybe you don't need strictly a car. I always recommend to have your car. I have clients that have arrived without car, and they just get mad and go back to the States and bring their own car. you know, because the weather in summer is very hot, but it's livable. Okay, you have any kind of drugstores. All services are around Zona Centro. That makes it easy to move if you live near the malecón or in Zona Centro. But if you go, we have the bus service is not so good, but we have Uber, Didi, taxis, all this kind of transportation services. Younger people lives in the Centenario or Chemetla, where you can find properties, bigger properties and more land at a very good price. It's going up as well. Prices are up, and you will need a car to move, obviously.
Woohoo! We got the rental car. We are driving to the Airbnb. We made it to La Paz. I usually don't rent a car when my husband and I travel in Mexico, but both times that we have been to Baja California, both times that we've been to La Paz, we have rented a car, and I think it would have been very difficult to get out, and not impossible, like you said, not impossible, but it's much more convenient to have a car in that part of Mexico, I think. And that line is why we arrived early. Wow. The line is already moving. I think when we were here a couple years back, we weren't able to get in until 1 o'clock, I thought. I think my mom and I lined up around like 12:30, but it's 12:15 right now. One good thing about waiting in line is that there's a lot of vendors like coming up and down by the cars. We saw people selling ice cream, people renting umbrellas, got some mango, and like I said, the line is moving now, so here we go. Recorded a video with another woman who was living in La Paz back in 2022, the end of 2021. She gave us some ideas about cost of living, but how would you say that prices have changed? Anything that you've noticed specifically? Maybe even if you could talk about some rental prices.
Prices have been going up. It was very cheap 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but since COVID, the past has been discovered not only for foreigners, but even for Mexicans that live in the mainland that are investing their money, or they are looking for a peaceful way of life, and they're coming even from the mainland, many Mexicans, to live in La Paz.
Claudia implores people considering moving to La Paz to think of Baja California Sur like an island. Goods must travel a long way to get there, and that drives up the cost. Based on her clients' experiences, Claudia recommends a monthly budget of $1,500 US per person. That doesn't include rent or electricity. She said the electricity bills fluctuate considerably depending on how much you use air conditioning. Claudia went on to say that of all the cities in Mexico, La Paz leads the pack in terms of rising home prices.
Maybe it was cheap 3 years ago. It was a very good deal. But now prices, you can find these prices even in Cabo. The difference between Cabo and La Paz, that the Cabo has a lot of offer of pre-sales, is growing very fast. So you have many options. Here in La Paz, there are less options, but there's a high demand. In the Malecón, for one room, okay, one room, one bath, a very little space, very little and basic apartment, it could be around 18,000 Mexican pesos to 20,000 Mexican pesos. That's in Zona Centro, the Malecón. If you're looking for a 2-bedroom in a nice condo, new condo with swimming pool, rooftops, and other kinds of services, in that case, you're around 25,000 Mexican pesos to 30,000 Mexican pesos. A bigger house like mine, okay, with a 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, with it's about 20 minutes from the Malecón or Zona Centro, but it's a gated community. You will be paying for about 25,000 Mexican pesos monthly.
The clients that you help, are people more interested in homes to rent, or are they looking to buy a place? And what kinds of properties are they looking for? What kinds of properties are available?
That they decide to buy for a pre-sale, I think is the best option now, because you buy something new, which is under construction, and they bought in a very, very nice place, luxury place with an excellent view of the city and of the Sea of Cortez. And it was for about 320K, their investment for a 2 rooms, 2 bath condo, very luxury. And nowadays, this same condo is on sale for about 470K. This condo will be delivered in December 2024. So they already have a profit for about a 20% more.
Once someone decides that they want to purchase a pre-sale home like that, what are the next steps?
Many times there's only a plan and you will be buying cheaper, very, very cheap. And it could be a 20% of the whole price of the property. And it depends of what moment you are buying. If it's already the construction goes on, prices will be going up and up. I have another client, okay? It's another example that he bought in a gated community in Chemetla, which is outside La Paz, between the Centenario and the airport. So it's a very nice community area. 30% of people living there are Americans and Canadians. And when the project started, that's about 3 years ago, the prices were around 1,300,000 Mexican pesos at the moment for a 1-floor, 2 bedrooms, 2 bath property, with a common area of swimming pool, pickleball courts, a very nice place. And nowadays that same property is around 3,300,000 Mexican pesos now. Only 3 years.
What I'm hearing from you is that if you think that you might want to live by the beach in Mexico, if you think that La Paz could be a good home for you, that it might, even if you're a few years from retirement, it might be a good idea to start looking now. Could you talk a little bit about what people from the United States need to know about buying a property in Mexico? Is there anything that's different, or that kind of catches your clients by surprise, or that you find yourself explaining to people often?
Well, the difference between buying a property in Baja California Sur, which we are next to the ocean, to the sea, it's that you have to buy through a fideicomiso.
What is a fideicomiso? Foreigners must purchase property within 50 kilometers of the coastline through a real estate trust with a Mexican bank called a fideicomiso. It grants the title for a piece of property to a Mexican bank, which is acting as the trustee bank. Despite not having the actual title, you don't lose any authority. You are free to live in your home, as well as sell, rent, expand, or will it to your heirs at your own discretion. What would you say are the things that surprise your clients about life in La Paz?
You change. You know, my way of life from Guadalajara to La Paz, I was always in a rush. I worked for Rio Hotel, so I was very. And when I just arrived here, you have to change your life to the place you are. So you have to be used that maybe if you're in a restaurant, you can, instead of having your dinner just in 15 minutes, it can be 20, 25 minutes. So time rushes in a different way, even if it's a big city, it's a medium city, which is growing very fast.
So looking ahead, I guess 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you think La Paz will look like?
Well, it's a challenge question. Okay, I hope the government in La Paz makes a good planning and services for the city because it's growing very fast. You know, we need better streets, water is also an important issue, electricity. So Baja California Sur has this problem that is just growing so fast, and the Mexican government has to go on with the increasing people that are coming and services for a well living for everyone.
The only thing tempering the otherwise rapid growth of La Paz is the small airport and lack of direct flights. But even that is changing. Alaska Airlines recently announced a direct flight between La Paz and Los Angeles. Mil gracias a Claudia for taking the time to speak with me about La Paz, one of the best places to live in Mexico. I'm Alex from backpackingbrunette.com. Thanks for watching.